after their daughter's wedding. In it, Henry explained that Catherine had been allowed to accompany her young husband to Wales, even though many people had advised against it because of the tender age of our son. Arthur was 9 months younger than his wife, and Henry had been warned against the perceived dangers of allowing a 15-year-old boy to enjoy unlimited sex, a risk particularly feared by the Spanish ambassador in London, Don Pedro de Ayala, since it was commonly believed in Spain that an undue indulgence in the pleasures of marriage had caused the death of Catherine's elder brother Juan, who died aged 19 in 1497, 6 months after marrying Margaret of Burgundy. A further possibility is testicular cancer, perhaps suggested by the phrase, "the singular parts of him inward." If correct, this diagnosis would not merely establish the cause of death, but could conceivably explain the protestations of Catherine's First Lady of the Bedchamber, Doña Elvira Manuel, in a letter to Queen Isabella, sent shortly after Arthur's funeral, that although Catherine was a widow, she was still a virgin. For if the prince had testicular cancer, a disease most frequently found in men aged between 15 and 44, the pains and the damage to his reproductive system could have resulted in an impaired sexual function. Although Doña Elvira's letter can no longer be traced in the archives, its contents are known because Isabella quoted them on the 12th of July in a letter written at Toledo, saying, "It is already known for a certainty that the said Princess of Wales, our daughter, remains as she was here, for so Doña Elvira has written to us." Barely was Arthur's body cold than Sir Richard Pole, the Lord Chamberlain of the Prince's household, sent letters announcing his death to the King's councillors at Greenwich Palace. As the messenger arrived during the night of Monday the 4th of April, when the King was in bed, the councillors decided to break the news to him early the next morning through his confessor, a Franciscan friar. Knocking at Henry's chamber door, somewhat before the time accustomed, the friar was admitted and asked all the servants to leave. Once he and Henry were alone, the friar quoted a text from the book of Job, using the version from the Latin Vulgate Bible. "If we have received good things from the hand of God," he solemnly intoned, "why should we not endure bad things?" Henry knew instantly that he was about to receive a devastating blow. When the friar blurted out that his dearest son was departed to God, the King at once sent for his wife, Elizabeth of York, saying that he and his queen would take the painful sorrows together. As soon as she arrived, and saw the King, her lord and husband, in that natural and painful sorrow, she, using full, great, and constant, comfortable words, besought him that he would first, after God, remember the welfare of his own noble person, the comfort of his realm, and of her. The living, said Elizabeth, had to take priority over the dead. In a valiant effort to comfort the husband whom she seems genuinely to have loved, and for the moment concealing the true extent of her own grief, Elizabeth reminded him that his own mother, Lady Margaret Beaufort, married to King Henry VI's half-brother Edmund Tudor at the age of 12, had been able to have only one child. Quickly made pregnant, she had been left with a serious gynecological impairment after her son's delivery. Despite this, Elizabeth recalled, Henry had survived through innumerable tribulations to manhood and won the crown. He also still had a healthy young son and 2 daughters, and, she quickly added, were they themselves not still both young enough to have more children? It was not to be. With Arthur's younger brother, Henry, Duke of York, still not quite 11 when his elder brother died, his father naturally feared for the dynasty's security and the succession. Arthur's death changed things forever, for it would now be the younger Henry who would inherit the throne and make Catherine of Aragon his bride. The royal couple did try almost immediately for another baby.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.